Welcome back, commanders and scrap collectors. Today we have another epic yet chaotic game beyond all reason. In today's match we got some of the best of the best. A pro lobby filled to the brim with exceptional players. The only kicker is, pride is on the line as each team has heavy hitters such as the Hound, our red commander. And on the eastern side, the blue team's top dog, Hiya, Jaya. Can be opened up with Cortex bot, still an absolute staple in today's meta. Bots just seem to be popping out of the woodworks left and right, as most people just aren't vehicle enjoyers like myself. Let me know down in the comments below, do you prefer bots with a quick mobility paired with the res bots in order to get easily reclaim access across the map? Or are you more of a hard hitter, Giga Chad enjoyer like myself with those vehicles? I would love to know. While you're here, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Help us push this video through the algorithm, and I hope this video just makes your day a little bit better. Anyways, let's head back into our match, as each player is trying to get ticks across. We're looking for some chip damage, as all structures in this game are made out of paper. Even 2 ticks behind the backline are able to clean up 1 metal extractor with absolute ease. Now you won't see the damages right away, but as each metal extractor falls, this could be a massive detriment to their economy as the game progresses, as they will have to send a unit back. They will have to send a construction drone back there in order to repair the damages. And right now, Pink, watch me do this, is leaving a mountain of destruction as the top ranked player for blue team has hit a catastrophic hit. And you'll even see the Tilt FF vote has come out. Translation: this man has suffered not only physical damage but emotional trauma along the way. Now that won't hurt him right now, as the early game is not too impactful, but over the next couple of minutes, probably about 5 minutes, you'll really start to see the economic damage come into play, as once players are able to reclaim the middle of the map, get themselves situated. That's when that early eco damage really comes in. As watch me do this, he has a nice advantage, but he's not able to press it yet. We'll see that develop over the next few minutes. Von Comet, though, in the center of the map, is going to be our main contender here. He'll have to do some heavy lifting, since blue team's top player is basically out of the game. Comet, though, he's going for the standard thug mixed in with the rocket bot push here. The base crawl to unite them all. As Cephos trying to kite back, using the sentry towers to slow the advancement. But sadly for him, this man is knocking on his door and he's not looking to take prisoners. The thugs continue to push up, but the commander, he's not having any of it. Right now, Comet has to watch out for D-guns and a comm bomb. As if that commander can get into a prime location and blow up his entire army, well, that's going to stop this push dead in its tracks. So staying on top of your micro and macro in this type of position is key. But red team, well, they don't like him being so far up, as they're looking to triple team this man. JTL on the southern flank and XMF do not like Comet being so far up. And honestly, who could blame them? As if this middle part falls, it's pretty much all but lights out. Let's take a moment to breathe from the middle of the map and head back to the northern flank and check on watch me do this, as he did cook my boy Hiya in the early game. And Hiya still looking to play aggressive, showing him that early game detriment is nothing to scoff at, as he is going to win through pure micro and decision making alone at this point. That's why he's 60 OS as well. This man can bring himself back from the depths of hell and look to lock it in, as he's actually pushed. Watch him do this back to the wall. What an absolute comeback. He's looking to win this hard. While watch him do this is kind of flabbergasted. Has no idea on how Hiya made this type of comeback. As the northern flag side has been calmed down, let's head back to the middle, as Von Comet has been pushed back due to the double/triple team he has been receiving. This man is getting absolutely railed on every side. Your standard Friday night. But Comet, he's not giving up yet. Using his commander to repair his frontline units, looking to shell away and chip down Cephos' army. But in a game like Beyond All Reason, remember, when a unit dies, it leaves behind 60% of that total cost, especially in value. This meaning if your unit dies on the wrong side of the map, it could be all but GG. And this is what we exactly see Sporter doing. XMF forced to help his middle player, forced to send his army over, meaning his flank was left undefended, and Sporter has taken full advantage of that. Pushing in, dominating XMF, sending his units to the Shadow Realm, and looking to get a beautiful commander snipe. That man's gone, dusted, out of there. He's tapping out, and Sporter swept the leg, as this man shows no mercy. As now he's going to desperately trying to get the reclaim on that corpse. Suck him dry harder than that Tinder date from last night. This is a crucial moment in the match, as whoever can generally get this reclaimed field will have a massive advantage over the course of the next few minutes. And this advantage can snowball out of control, because there is exponential scaling in Beyond All Reason. Meaning all players have to focus their attention to this northern flank. That's why we even see JTL, a southern flank enjoyer, start to head up to the middle. Everyone understands you cannot let this reclaimed field fall to the opposite side. Meaning each side is willing to throw everything they have at it. Cephos walking up dangerously far, his commander on 14%, but dodge, duck, and dive. He knows the rules of dodgeball. Barely avoiding that cluster of rockets which would have ended this man's career. But over the course of the next few minutes, Red has stabilized. They have gotten the reclaim field, meaning the comeback is looking very real. As the middle of the map seems to have calmed down a bit, let's take a moment to zoom out and see the rest of the map state. Southern flank, even. Middle, absolute chaos. And the northern flank, well, kind of stopped dead in its tracks, as both players are probably looking to eco up. But Von Comet still fighting for the middle, Sporter there to help him. As this battle continues to develop, I want to take a breather and look at the backline economy, as this is about the 8.5 minute mark, which means these players have tier 2 and it's early online for the eco player. Nut in the bottom, eco fully online. The top player, Hongi, tier 2 online as well. Over on the western flank, both sides are going heavy into tier 2 mexes. What does this mean? Well, it means the units are going to be a little bit slower entering the field, meaning we'll be sitting on tier 1 for another few minutes. This will allow the game to still be heavily determined by our frontline players. The eco players, well, they have a tough job too. They're mainly there to support the frontline. If they feel like the frontline is collapsing, they have to produce units over ecoing. Now, this is kind of like a short-term response to a bad early game played from the frontline, as that the other eco player also just sits back, well, gets more money. Eventually, over time, you'll just be GG. And because of that, we'll have a nice long game on our hands, boys. So strap in and grab some popcorn, your soda. This one's about to get rocky, as the map is pretty much dead even after 10 minutes. Meaning we're about to have an absolute banger on our hands. Both teams still looking to poke and prod. Starting to play a bit more passive as the game gets later. This is due to the fact that 1, losing your entire army to a D-gun commander can completely change the tide of war. 2, losing your units on the other side of the map at this point could basically mean GG, especially now that tier 2 could be popping out at any moment. They know that these are the best of the best, so they always know tier 2 could be around the corner, especially at that 10-minute mark. Because of that, they don't want to push too far out. They don't know if the enemy is hiding something. Like, Cephas could be going for a fat boy here, and Blue would never know. He doesn't know if it's even on the battlefield. But luckily for him, there is no tier 2 units for Cephos, but he has his own couple of Sheldons. These things are looking to poke and prod at the tier 1. And basically at this point, tier 1 is all but useless. Let's take a moment to look at the bombing run, as they did drop the payload, but the air player is waking up and he's locked in. Hands at the wheel, pedal to the metal, and it's going to prevent this bombing run from succeeding any further, as they drop their last bit of bombs, maybe getting a couple construction turrets on their way out. Oof, nice pop on the energy converters as well. Was that worth it? I think not, as he lost his whole entire bombing run for really no damage except the front line here. But bombers are relatively expensive, meaning the game is still in a deadlock. Red is starting to take a bit away that increased economy, while blue is fighting back, especially Von Comet, the star of the show, absolutely taking the brunt of red team's aggression from Cephos, the middle, the top, XMF. Both players are looking to stop this man's aggressive advancement down the center path. With the Sheldons growing in numbers, yellow is forced to come help the middle side, realizing that this is his team's weakest point, and he also probably thinks he can't break the southern flank, as their eco player, Nut, is there to stop them. But the Sheldon balls are growing. It's kind of like the calm before the storm, as these things are basically weak. Hit like wet noodles, paper thin armor, but you can spam these things like no tomorrow, meaning when you get 20, 30, 40 of Sheldons on the map for your side, the game becomes your personal playground. And at the moment, Bon Comet and Lord Dot are both trying to get to that point. Both of them about 10 to 15 Sheldons apiece, so halfway there to the overpowered point. But until then, they gotta keep them alive at all costs, because Sheldons are great at moving and one-shotting units, as with that nice range, being able to shoot while move is incredibly valuable to them. But as the middle of the map seems to slow down and turn more into an artillery no man's land, let's head back up to that northern flank, where my boy Haya has made a fantastic comeback from that devastation early game, losing multiple metal extractors to his energy, able to hold watch me do this in a stalemate is impressive alone. Imagine if this guy didn't get gutted in the early game. This game could be a completely different match. But what we can clearly see is watch me do this walking up his commander, perhaps looking for a self D or a cheeky D gun. In reality, maybe we're just playing a bit of poke and prod. But he's also a fellow Sheldon enjoyer. Both sides here looking to ramp up their Sheldon numbers once again. A very common strategy, in my opinion, especially in these higher ranked games. Mix that in with the Fat Boys or the Hounds from the Armada faction, and both teams just love artillery that can move and skate around. Just the fact that they can move and shoot makes them such a versatile unit and good against multiple different armies, allowing them to choose when and where to interact as the battlefield continues to develop, each side looking for a moment of weakness, looking for an opportunity to blow open the map. The question is, when will it happen? When will a side slip? As these players, well, they may be playing robots, but they're not machines. They will make an error. And the question is, which side will pounce on that first and the hardest? Sheldon's still reigning supreme, but we do have an interesting strategy out of XMF, looking for a massive amount of tier 1 spam, and he's looking to dive straight onto Spoder's army here, absolutely caught like a deer in the headlights, looking to dive deep in. This could be the play of the game, or a massive throw, as the Banishers are shooting massive splash damage, but the Stutes are they're in the back line, and if they can get to the economy, the game could be completely open. Commanders dropping like flies, but the main action is here, as these Stutes are either about to be a massive 5k donation to blue team, or the ticket for Red's victory. They're getting swarmed by all angles. Both blue players are trying to stop them from getting any more damage, but they did do catastrophic damage. But remember, when a unit dies, it dies on the opposite side of the map. meaning that damage that he dealt, the devastation he left behind, can easily be rezzed to res bonds or reclaimed to further Blue's army, meaning that damage is but a minor setback. In my opinion, not enough to be a game-ending play, but enough to slow down Blue's advancement. Now Red has a few options with this, either look to eco or put the pedal to the metal. At this point, they're looking to play full-on aggression as the spider bots have come out, looking to shell away at the turrets. Oh, the pawns pouncing in, the Sheldons starting to absolutely dwindle down in numbers from these trades, meaning that god level ball that we all wanted to see walking around, nuking each other's armies, is not going to be transpiring, well, anytime soon at least. We're also at the point where Tier 3 could start to come online. About 17 minutes in the game is usually when Tier 3 starts to become a reality. And guess what? Haya, the best player in the entire game for this match, already has a Tier 3 laboratory hot on the menu, boys. It's getting cooked, and it's getting cooked real nice. You know something we haven't cooked up? The southern middle flank. We've given this no attention, so let's see exactly what's been happening. JTL going for the classic Tier 1, Tier 2 spam combo. Maybe asking, well, why is he doing this? Simple. Tier 1, think of it as a bullet. Cheap, efficient, and they draw heavy fire from the more expensive and hard-hitting Tier 1 units. Only downside is it is a bit of a money sink if the enemy counters it properly by either having in good defenses like light laser turrets or pawns to easily deal with the tick spam right now that JTL is doing. When you generally see this, players might either A, switch into their own pawn spam to counter it, so they still have a meat shield that can trade relatively well. But at the moment, they're going for the death push. March, my men, witness them as they fight a glorious battle. Units being sent sky high into the stratosphere. This is no longer a battlefield, but a massive graveyard, as we just witnessed hundreds of robots go up in flames, and the battle has not ended. The walls are up, funneling the units into the kill chambers, and the Sheldons sitting proud on the hill, eating good tonight, eating better than the Fat Man and Big Mac. That man, you could say he's finger looking good. But the map is absolutely in a deadlock, folks. Nothing has broken, nothing has really happened. Both teams are locked in this middle warfare, trading out units left and right. No one has really gotten a good enough advantage to, well, break open the game, and that's how you know you're an absolute banger. And beyond all reason, we're about to enter the late game as it's about to hit 20 minutes on the clock. Meaning Tier 3 is about to start coming out on both flanks, heavily looking to reshape the game, as Hellhound is heavily fortified here in the southern flank, and Green is now just donating endlessly. This man must think he's Mr. Beast, because he's just saying left and right and has nothing to... Well, Mr. Beast has a lot to show for it, but this green guy, well, he's got nothing. Well, let's head back up to the northern flank. The southern flank is pretty much cooked at this point. Complete deadlock as we have our first Tier 3 unit. The Demon has entered the field, boys. Look at it in all its magnificence, its glory. It's about to send the battlefield to dirt. This thing, I believe, has the highest DPS in the entire game for metal cost at 1600 DPS. Meaning if this thing gets on top of your army, it's gonna be all but over. Big catch though, pretty much paper thin, only at 18k HP, meaning with some good micro and kiting from Watch Me Do This, he can definitely look to shut down this Tier 3 unit, but it's a menace. Both 3, 4 red players are forced to react to this. Everyone has their eyes on the Demon as they know they cannot let this thing get on the other side of the map. The bombing run has been spotted though. Blue forced to intercept. This is the deciding moment. This is what the match has led up to. Massive fighters. The bombing run is in. Do they get any fusions? 1 goes down. 2 goes down. The economy in shambles. Absolute devastation across the board. Another bombing run. If this fusion goes up, oh my god, it's a horror. It's a nightmare. Blue had such a good position. That demon was about to send them to victory, to the gold medal. But the bombing run once again ending a match. It feels like every match I cast lately just ends with one single bombing run.
Has died.
But it's not over yet, as it has a good backbone. They still have some advantages. The only major issue is a once surefire victory has slipped through their fingers, and now they'll be fighting an uphill battle, as they are down about 20% in terms of economy, meaning if they don't get the micro locked in, if they can't get these reclaimed fields, well, the game is going to be all but over. But something that could help is this Cerberus locking down the southern flank. This is very useful, especially at this point in the match, as this means the green player can focus his army more towards the north side and help his blue brethren, because they are absolutely weak here. They need help, they need some milk, but in this case I guess it would be oil, as the mammoth walks through gunning down everything. Meanwhile, the catapults, the tier 3 heavy rocket pot from Cortex, an absolute menace to society. I love this unit, one of my favorite units in the entire game. Let me know what you guys love for tier 3. Mine, I do. Rock, come on. These things, catapults, beautiful. Absolute devastation, and they just look amazing. The two massive rockets shelling out the missiles, death from above, literally and figuratively. Absolute great design. Love this unit. The middle of the map, once an absolute zone for blue team, has started to crumble. The damage they took from the bombers was just too much to bear. The damage they took mentally from losing that lead is starting to pile up. But the northern flank, it still has hope. As we zoom in once again, the demons are looking to get in, but the air player has come in clutch once again. The shurikens stunning them in space.
Destroyed.
The FF vote is once again out. My question is, can that demon get the self-D? Great self-D from our boy there, preventing any reclaim. That thing is worth 6,000 metal, meaning if he can get it, if he can get the reclaim, that could be definitely GG. But the floodgates have opened in the middle of the map. Red is looking to send its way through onto Blue's economy. If they don't get the defenses down, if they don't get something in the bag, we'll just have to be putting the fries in the bag, boys. As the red team's onslaught of tier 1, tier 2 is knocking on their doorstep, and blue just doesn't have an answer. They don't have a solution. They don't have anything to show for it, as now even the southern flank is crumbling down into dust, into atoms. The bombing run sealed the deal. It sealed blue fate, and once was an absolute magnificent game, in my opinion, from blue team, especially high in the top. Absolutely taking so much damage in the early game from losing his early energy. Managed to bring it back, but the air player just so valuable, so important. I feel like air players in lower rank games aren't that valuable because usually the game is over way faster, in my opinion. Like 15 minutes over, usually the Frontline has completely won it, or someone's taken a lot of damage. But in these higher tier games where the pros know how to not leak, how to not lose their foothold, the air player can really shine, showing his macro decision making, his timings with his bombing run, when to attack, when to eco. It really comes into power, as this was once again the reason why red team won. Just the air alone, which is too good. And now the tier 3 marching in, a proud moment for all you red team enjoyers, and for our blue gang, well, it's time for us to put the fries in the bag. And with that, boys, if you guys enjoyed the video, please smash the like button and subscribe. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day.